Welcome back to another tutorial video, guys. This is Destiny School of DJ, and we are giving out free DJ course as we have mentioned before in our previous tutorial videos. And let's get started. So in today's video, we'll be talking more about the CD player parts or the CDJ parts, or the part where you load your songs in your controllers or your CDJs and everything. So in the last week we spoke everything. We have covered all the knobs what each knob does in the mixer section, and now we are getting into the CDJ section. So in CDJ parts, first thing first, let's just talk about this big CD disc, or this thing which is located on every CD player that you see. So these things are called jog wheels. So basically these are used for scratching, like for vinyl scratches. It gives the vinyl effects, and the second thing it is used for is pretty basic, like for beat matching. That's like the very fundamental part of DJing, and the fundamental use and very important use for DJing, like beat matching. Alright, so let me just show you what exactly I mean by that. So right now I'm going to increase the volume of the song a little. So right now the vinyl mode is on this, but the vinyl mode can be on or off depending on our choices. So right now, one second, let me just, alright, so right now the vinyl mode is on. So if I touch on top and do this, it's going to give you this scratch effect. Usually you see the scratch artists, these guys use that feature a lot. But if you are just a regular DJ who is just doing normal DJing, like transition from one song to another song, this is more than enough. Only the part where we use for beat matching is more than enough. So the second part, how we do beat matching and how this jog wheel actually helps us while beat matching, is pretty simple. So just observe right now. If I try to rotate the jog wheel clockwise, like a little bit faster, and the speed of the song actually increased for a bit, and then it fell down. So basically what happened over there was the speed of the song was increased in milliseconds. So we use that so that we can match two beats. If the other song is playing and if both the beats are not aligned together, we can use this feature to beat match. And if I go anti-clockwise, you can hear that it's getting a little slower. This tempo of the song dropped, and then again it went. As soon as the jog wheel stopped rotating, it went back to its normal position. So that is how we use for beat matching. For example, if I have to show you how exactly this works, so you can see on the screen on top, two songs are playing in. Okay, they're beat matched again. Okay. So if you see both the beats are not matched together, I'll just increase the volume so that you all can hear it. So you can see it's not beat matched properly. So at that point of time, whichever the main song is there, whichever song you're bringing in, suppose I brought the first deck into the mix, right? So what I can do right now is I can just adjust this. So no, okay. And voila, it's beat matched. So what happened when I was rotating it anti-clockwise, it was decreasing the tempo of the song. It was not reversing like if it is a vinyl effect, something like this. If it is a vinyl mode, it's like sort of going backwards. Okay, if I off the loop and if I forward. So right now if I go like this, it's like rewinding, sort of a rewinding and going back. But with the jog wheel, if I rotate the sides of the jog wheel, it's going to slow down the song, but it's going to go back to its normal position. So that's what jog wheels is used for. Mostly that is a crucial and very important part for DJing, and it is used for beat matching. And how do we beat match? I just showed you. We just have to rotate the knobs. We have to nudge the jog wheel, not rotate the knobs, but nudge the jog wheel left or right depending on how the beats are aligned together. So usually we beat match using our ears, but with the latest technologies and with the digital DJing getting more into the field, it gets pretty easy to beat match just by looking at the visuals. If you are DJing using a laptop or mostly a laptop, if you have a laptop and you have a good screen, or if the latest XDJ XZ, which or XDJs RX, I guess it is, which has a screen on top of your mixer which showcases you both the beats, like how it is showing over here. So only very few equipment, like all-in-one DJ equipment, has the feature where it can show you two beats to two waveforms together. Otherwise, it's usually going to be like one waveform over here and another waveform over here. It's like the analog DJing section part. But if it's a digital DJing, it's pretty simple. You can watch on the screen on top and you can beat match. But usually I'd prefer everyone to beat match using their ears. But how to beat match, how you can get quicker at beat matching, that is another tutorial video, and that we'll talk about in another video. Now let's continue into the CDJ part. So first we have discussed about the jog wheel. Two functions are vinyl and for beat matching. Top, again, one more important thing, only the top section of the jog wheel, if the vinyl function is on, it will work as this thing. Otherwise, if it's nudge it from the side, it's not going to work. Only on top, because it's pressure sensitive, or if you have a controller like DJay, SB2, SB3, or RB and 400, those are touch sensitive. So as soon as you touch, it might stop. This thing, as soon as I touch, it's not stopping. But if I apply a little bit of pressure, then it is. So that is what the vinyl function of CDJ is in 2000 Nexus to 2000 Nexus, 2000 to 900, CDJ 900s, and the latest one, CDJ 3000 also, it's pretty much similar. It's a little bit pressure sensitive. But normal controllers, smaller controllers are touch sensitive. Alright, next is a very important thing is this play and pause button, and then the cue button. So where do we use the play and pause button, and where do we use cue button? Like pretty simple. Play and pause button is like self-explanatory. It is used to play the song and pause the song. But cue is a very different. It has a very different function. So it would probably take a little bit longer time for me to explain it. But let's get started. It's 7 minutes already. Okay, so this cue function has a very unique. It has a very unique function. So let me just load a song over here. Alright, so I'll be using this fourth deck over here. So just observe whenever I press the cue button, it starts the song, and as soon as I remove my finger from the cue button, it's going to go back to 0 and stop. The default position which it was at 0, it's going to go there and stop. And now again, if I press the cue button again, it's starting, and then as soon as I remove the finger from the button, it's going to go back to 0 and stop. Now how is this useful? It's usually, if suppose there are multiple ways where people use this cue function or the cue button function. It's mostly used for beat matching. For example, if this is the beat going on, if you have to like, okay, first I need to set the tempo. Okay, alright, the tempo is set now. And once you're ready, like once you feel you're confident that beat is close and you can beat match just by nudging it, what you can do is you have to press the play button and you can remove the finger from the cue button. Otherwise, if it was like this before, okay, if I remove, it's almost close. So what I can do, if I remove the finger right now, it might go back to 0 and stop again. So what I have to do is press the cue button and then press the play button so it continues playing. And again, the one function is, like I said before, as you keep pressing cue, it's going to start, and it's like a gate effect basically. Gate effect, what it does, it lets you, when you press the button, it lets you play the song, and as soon as you remove the finger from the cue button, it's going to stop. It's going to pull back all the section it has already played to the point where the default position for any cue is 0.00 seconds, or the 0 bar, or the first bar, the first beat of the song, depending how your settings are done. But right now everything is at 0.0. So if this is a function where I can change the default position to wherever I want it to be. Like for example, if I want to set it at 5 seconds, what I can do is I can let it play. I'll let it play and I'll pause it at first 5 seconds. Right now, observe, if I press the cue button, it's not going to start, because first of all, the song is paused. And now if I press the cue button, it's not going to start from 0, it's not going to start from 5. The first time when I press the cue button, it's going to change the bookmark position. Basically, the second function of this is a bookmark function, which we can change only once. It can be changed multiple times, but it is only going to be saved when you are using this song. If you change the song and again load back the same song, it's not going to be there. You have to again manually set the cue marks. So the default cue function where you want the song to start at. So right now if I press the Q button, just observe over here on top, there's a small orange triangle on the digital part of this on the deck. As soon as I press the Q button, it's going to jump to the 5-second part. So it has jumped to the 5-second now. As see, I'm still pressing the button, but it's still not playing. But as soon as I remove the finger and press again, it's going to start playing from so it's going to start from 4 seconds because it's saved to the nearest point. So yeah, so now it's going to start playing from 4 again. As soon as I remove the finger from the Q button, it's going to go back to 4 seconds and stop. And now again, same thing. Now if I if I press play, and now again, for example, if I had suppose stopped the song at 32 seconds, and now if I press Q, it's not going to play from 5 seconds or 0 seconds. It's first going to save. So when you pause the song at the position where the bookmark is not saved before, it's going to save. The bookmark position is going to jump directly from 5 seconds to this part where it is right now. Now it has jumped. That orange triangle which is there on the digital part has jumped to 32 seconds. And now if I press Q again, it's going to start from 32 seconds. And now if I just continue press play button and continue the song, no matter where the song is at, for example, even if it is at 1 minute or at 1 minute 54 seconds, if I press Q right now, it's going to go back to 32 seconds, not 0, not 5, but 32 seconds, because we had changed it again to 32 seconds, right? So it goes like this. It has gone to 32 seconds again. So that's what. So we can change the bookmark position default to wherever we want. But now if we want to change it, how we can change it is first we play the song to the desired point where I want to start. For example, if I want to start the song, for example, if it is around over here. So this is the part where I want to start. So right now what I can do, I can either just pause the song and I can press play whenever I want to press play. If I want, suppose that this is the point where I want to start the song, and when this song is playing to do the transition, I can just leave at this position, and the Q mark will be at 32 seconds, but it will not be at 1.2 seconds. But if I just press play also, it does the work. But what happens is when you just randomly pause the song at the desired point where you want to start it from, it might not exactly start from the exact moment where the beat is going to come in. For example, right now it has gone past the first beat of where I want to start it from, like just a milliseconds of the beat has been passed. But if I press Q right now, what it's going to do is it's going to adjust the beat. It's going to adjust the point to the nearest beat. So if I'm going to press Q now, it's going to jump to the nearest beat, which is at 32.1 bar. Yeah. So as soon as I press Q, you must have seen in digitally the waveform it jumped a little bit, and now the Q mark has been saved to 1 minute 2 seconds, and I'm still pressing the button. It's not doing anything. But as soon as I remove my finger and press again, it's going to start from 1 minute 2 seconds. I hope you got what I'm trying to tell, how we can use this Q function over here. And once you press Q and then play button, it's going to continue playing from wherever that point is. Alright, so this Q button, where we can use it, the first two functions. So one is the gate effect function, where whenever you press the Q button, it's going to play, and then it's going to stop as soon as you press the Q button to where the bookmark position was. The second is the bookmark position. Now we can change the bookmark position. Either how we can use it is like multiple ways we can use this Q mark. We can either set a Q mark and be ready, like if for example, if suppose there was a phrase over here. I don't know if this song has a phrase. Okay, so if I want to use, I can do is I can go to this point and then press Q button, and the Q mark is changed to 31.4. So I just want this part to be heard. So what I can do is, if suppose this song is playing in, and if I just and then yep. So if I just want this, only this section, like this is just a very vague example I'm giving you. This is not exactly how it is done, but this is just a vague example. Like you can use this. So you can put a vocal chop, or if you can make a vocal chop, as in your part where the vocal is starting, a little small part of which you can use. So this is just an example. It's not necessary that you have to always choose this position or something like that. Alright, so I'm just going to go back to this. So that is the main function of the Q button. And next up we have 5 minutes, so let's discuss the tempo fader. So this is called the tempo fader. This section in every CD player part which goes up and down is called the tempo fader. So this is actually where you can set the BPM of the song or the tempo of the song. Tempo meaning the speed of the song, or the speed basically in musical terms. So now if you see on the screen over here, you can see the tempo of the song is 124 beats per minute. Basically that means it has 124 beats. Every minute of this song has 124 beats. That's the basic BPM means. So now, for example, if I select a song which is not entirely, it's at 120 BPM right now. This song is at 120 BPM and this song is at 124 BPM, right? So what happens if I want to beat match? I can't really beat match because they're not in the same tempo range. They're not in the same speed. Their BPMs are very different. So no matter how much I try to nudge the jog wheel and try to beat match it, I'm never gonna beat match it. It's never gonna happen. So at that point of time, we use these tempo faders. That is why we have this tempo fader, so that we can adjust the speed of the song to the desired vibe for the current tempo which we are playing at. So if I start a set, if it's an opening set, I can start the set at 119 and I can go up to 124 or 122 depending on how what genre it is and how the vibe is going. So it's not necessary that if I'm choosing a 120 song right now, it's not, I can choose a 124 song to start the first song of my song and reduce it to 119 and then start the song. And by the end of my set, after 1 hour, I can be at 122 or 124, desiredly where I want and how the songs are going and how the vibe is going. But for now, right now, both of them are a very different tempo range and tempo BPMs, and I can't beat match it entirely. If I try to beat match and do the transition, it's going to sound really awkward. For example, if I do this now, and so this is like almost beat matched, but still you can feel the though we change the song from one song to another, it still feels really awkward, right? It didn't really sounded smooth as it should be sounding. So at that point of time, what we can do is, so again the same thing. First we'll pause this song, go back to its normal 0 point, and then adjust the tempo to 124.0. So now is it at 124.0. Now if I press play and if I beat match it now, and now if I try to change the song, now both the songs are playing together. There's a slight and now if I change the song, it's still sounding very smooth. It's not going to sound like how it was sounding before, though the points of changing the transition is not the right time or the right position, but still that at least the transition felt a lot smoother and it felt a lot good to hear at least. So that is how this tempo faders are used. So these are called the tempo faders, and you can adjust the BPM of the song or the tempo of the song. So now one more important thing is, so if you see on the volume faders over here, you can see if I push the volume knob at this point or this much position, that means I'm at 5 points or 6 points or at the 50% or 60% or whatever that is supposed to be. So there's this markings and readings giving that this is doing this much amount of volume increasing or decreasing, right? Or the position of the volume, how much it is. But if you see on the tempo faders, there's no number or numerical value given to when I'm going up and down. There's no number, particular value given that if I'm going this much amount of left to the down, that I'm reducing it -3 or -+2 or -4 or +5 or 6, like that. So this is this sensitivity, at least the sensitivity of this volume fader is given, but the sensitivity of the tempo fader is not given. So this sensitivity of the tempo fader can be changed. Now, for example, now the sensitivity, if I go completely up, it is going up to 112.8. But if I change the sensitivity, now if I go completely, it's going up to 108. And now if I change the sensitivity again, it goes up to 100.8. So like that, we can keep changing the sensitivity. So for that, so in the next tutorial video, we'll be talking more about the tempo faders and how the looping function works, what are the looping functions, and pretty much we will be covering pretty much all the important basic the CD player parts which would be requiring you to know, and then we'll move forward into song structures, what are different genres, and slowly we'll get into how to mix different genres and various transition techniques for different genres. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or queries, please comment down below. And also do check out our website, and if you want to have one-on-one online classes, if you're not from Hyderabad and if you want to learn the art of DJing, you can always apply for online one-on-one classes where we'll have a set of course designed only for you as per your need and as per how much your knowledge is on DJing. No matter if you have zero knowledge or if you have been practicing before, no matter where you are at the skill level, we can start your online classes depending on where you are at your skill basis. I hope you all have a great day ahead. Thank you for watching.